Yeah, no, I know it's the regular Pat's personal portrait theme, but not the most appropriate music. When I got this guy here, could we have a little boss music, please? Yeah, that seems more appropriate, don't you think, huh? Nils Lofgren, guitarist of the E Street Band, resident of the Valley of the Sun. For how long?
16 years. Pat,
Happy
good to see
you made that decision?
Well, I was playing the Rhythm Room. No, I'm sorry. I have been playing the Rhythm Room. I was playing the Rockin' Horse, a great nightclub you had.
Because you talk about history of some of the clubs.
We've been on the road 44 years.
Yes.
So they all kind of blur together. Although the Rockin' Horse sadly burnt to the ground, I played it 16 years ago and met my wife, Amy Aiello, from New Jersey, who settled out here as an extraordinary professional cook like 28 years ago. And bizarrely enough, 15 years prior to that, I saw her at the Stone Pony in Asbury Park, Bruce's stomping grounds. Hung out with her for the evening after a show and couldn't get her to come to Boston on my tour bus because she had a job. And I didn't see her for 15 years.
And her mom had told you about tour buses.
And she said my mom had killed me, my boss. I said, I'll square it with your boss, I'll square it with your mom, as I was, chugging my whatever. But I was in Jersey all the time playing, so I thought I'd see her soon after that, and 15 years went by. 16 years ago, I saw her here in Scottsdale. Fortunately, I got her phone number that night, and we've been together ever since.
Great story.
Yeah.
Now tell me the story about what your parents were thinking when they started you playing the accordion. Nils, the accordion.
I don't know why, but in the south side of Chicago, where I was born and lived for 8 years, near Midway, my mom's Sicilian, my dad's Swedish, and the accordion is a big part of their folklore. And it seemed like every kid on my block played accordion in the south side of Chicago. So I asked for lessons when I was 5 years old. And they financed 10 years of massive classical studies, because after the waltzes and polkas, you quit or you go into classical or jazz. And to this day, it's been a great musical backdrop.
You do the bellow shake? And
the bellow shake, Flight of the Bumblebee. I entered contests. It's funny, I'm trying to work up Flight of the Bumblebee just as an exercise.
Has Bruce Springsteen ever said, wait a minute, what a tremendous addition to the concert it would be? Because they're doing 3.5, 4-hour concerts. You guys knocking yourself out. Maybe in the middle, a little accordion break. What do you think?
Well, not one to ever lose an opportunity to take advantage of his tools or be a ham. Actually, Roy Bittan, our piano player, started on accordion. Danny Federici, God bless him, who passed away a few years ago, and Charlie, who took his place in our band, both played accordion really well. So we'd like to think we're the only rock band with 3 accordionists. And yes, Bruce will send all 3 of us out front to play the Tarantella in Italy. We've done Sherry Darling, a rock version with 3 accordionists.
I'm almost sorry that I asked, because somewhere I'll find a copy of that. What did your agent really have in mind when he told you about you being a part of the Sgt. Pepper film? The Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band movie that I think made $11.
Yeah, you know what? I just got a phone call from my manager in L.A. and said, hey, they're making this movie. George Martin, who is one of my heroes because of the Beatles, is overseeing a giant sing-along in a bleachers-type high school setup where like hundreds of great professional singers are going to come and do the sing-along, and you're invited. First-class ticket, hotel room. You go over and hang out with your peers all day, food, drink. And it's hilarious because George Martin comes out and we're all in the grandstands making a racket, and he's somebody that could command some respect from the group.
Yeah, the producer of the Beatles.
Yeah, and so he gets everyone quiet. They have giant cue cards. He gives us instructions on how to sing and everything, and finally gets us all quieted down because everyone's joking and laughing, and it's fun. And I had a hoot because I saw a lot of famous musicians I didn't know. Some I did. But when everyone was quiet, he gave us all the instructions. He said, okay, just to be serious now, let's get this taped and done. And before we start, is there anyone in the grandstands that has any problem where you're standing seeing the cue cards, giant cue cards? Jose Feliciano jumps up, I can't see, George, I can't see. And everyone falls apart laughing for 20 more minutes before he can get us calmed down and do the thing. So he was right in front of me, and I was like, Jose, that's
You got to come back. You got to come back. Well, I just have a list of names, and you tell stories. But there's one other thing. I did mention that there was my personal embarrassment about you starting with the accordion, not my favorite instrument, and then the possibility of you being embarrassed about being in one of the least successful Beatle movies ever, Sgt. Pepper. I have to bring this up. Do you notice someone has painted on your guitar?
Oh my Lord. Yikes.
You got to do something about the kids in the neighborhood, Nils.
Well, you know what? Our great American author, Hunter Thompson,
Yes.
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, etc. His illustrator Ralph Steadman, as a favor to my wife, we've been friends for quite a while, painted this original Steadman Strat with, after Hunter passed, in memory of Hunter, with his famous cigar. 2 here, there's one on the case, and since Ralph doesn't sell original art, we've been taking this around. You can go to nilslofgren.com and get more information on it. We're looking for the high bid. We're looking for the Johnny Depp,
Where are
Jack
you now?
Nicholson. We've got a $50,000 bid,
Uh-huh.
and we're looking to double that. So I'm trying to get into the Jack Nicholson, Johnny Depp poker game crowd, or anyone who's a Hunter fan and a fan of Ralph's art, because he doesn't sell original art. He sells prints. And my wife got him to do this a few years back, so we're spreading the word, and you can get more information at nilslofgren.com.
Steadman Art, Nils Lofgren providing it for charities.
All the proceeds go to Cass Homeless Shelter in Phoenix and CCCH, Vista Del Camino Community Center and Food Bank in Old Town Scottsdale.
And you'll be doing what you can for gonzo journalism, too.
Absolutely. So check it out and go to my website and get more details.
Yeah, I think, you know what, we've got a lot of people who have big hearts and big wallets.
Yeah, there's some rich collectors these days.
Yeah, look, there's 7 of them right now. I know that you're well-to-do because you're watching Pat's Personal Portraits, starring Nils Lofgren, E Street Band.